హాయ్ గైస్, నేను మీ అనిల్. ఈ వీడియోలో మనం స్విచ్ అనే కంట్రోల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ గురించి తెలుసుకుందాం. ప్రీవియస్ వీడియోస్లో మనం ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ ల్యాడర్ని ఎలా వాడాలో చూస్తున్నాం. సో మీకు వీడియోస్ కావాలి అంటే ప్లీజ్ డూ క్లిక్ హియర్. దర్ ఇస్ అ ప్లేలిస్ట్ దట్ యూ విల్ గెట్ టు నో ఆల్ ది ప్రీవియస్ వీడియోస్ ఫ్రమ్ దేర్. అండ్ స్విచ్ కేస్ ఇస్ వెరీ సింపుల్. సో ఇఫ్ ఎల్స్ని బేసిక్గా ఎలా అయితే కండిషనల్ సిచ్యువేషన్లో అంటే ఏదైనా ట్రూ అయితే లేదంటే ఏదైనా ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ట్రూ అయితేనే మనం పర్టికులర్ టాస్క్ని ఎలా అయితే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలనుకుంటామో స్విచ్ కూడా సేమ్ అలాగనే ఉంటుంది. బట్ స్విచ్ యూజెస్ అ డిఫరెంట్ మెకానిజం. And let's talk about the syntax and let's get into at least one example so that you can understand. Let me share the screen and let's get into the discussion. Let me open the VS Code and show you how the syntax and how the program looks like. Probably, again, I'm going to tell you one thing here. So the lecture may be a bit lengthy. The reason why I'm slowly explaining everything is I'm targeting the people who doesn't know at least what is programming. So it's not for someone who already knew. So what I'm thinking is, if someone who just wanted to refresh their skills, probably what we can do is I'll start another series. I was planning everything in 5 minutes. Whatever you want to know, everything is in 5 minutes. So probably all the topics will be covered in 45 to 60 minutes. So that I can plan. But for now, these videos are very specific to the people who doesn't know the programming. So please bear with me. If you don't know programming, that's what I'm targeting for. And if you already know the programming, wait for my another series, everything in 5 minutes. So that will give you a little bit quick and faster explanation and we don't drag it there. All right, let's get into this video. And so what we wanted to know is here this switch, right? So if before that, if you want to know anything like if else or if else ladder, how to use it, what is control statements, how to write a C programming, everything is created a playlist over here. Please do click there and then check. So all right, let's talk about switch. So here the good thing is, out of 32 keywords you will be learning minimum 3 to 4 keywords. So let's say how does switch look like. So switch is the keyword. Again, it will look like this, and you can open a bracket. Inside that you will write an expression. So and then you will open a block here. You remember, right, in if condition, so you can use either block or without that also. If you have only one statement, you no need to use block. So but here it is important because there will be multiple things comes into the switch block. So that's why you need to use the block. Okay, let me just tell you another keyword that we will be using is case. Inside the switch there are multiple cases. So which means so let's say in general you see the switch and you only have 2 cases, but here the switch contains multiple cases. So that's why, so what do we write here? We can just say for now label. So label meaning anything, like if you say if you go to medical shop, right? So how do they reach the particular medicine to get it? So they'll print the label. So as soon as you order the medicine, or if they look at the prescription, they'll go to the particular label and then get the medicine, right? The same way, let's think about that. Label 1, so there is one label which becomes true, and then you will go and get something, right? You'll do something over here, and then there is another case that you can start. There is label 2, right? So likewise you can write any number of labels here, and then at the end there is one more thing called a default. So what you can do is, default is another, if nothing is true out of all those cases, the default thing is, let's say if in this case of medicine, so we don't have anything, right? We don't have this medicine. So likewise we can just use the switch case if you have multiple cases or very lengthy conditions, right? In this case, like, you observe one thing here, right? If else condition, if also does look good in many cases, but let's say you just need to reach multiple cases, and based on one one value, then definitely this becomes, switch becomes a better statement to use in your programming. So, and one good thing that this has provided is default. So default is something that will get executed if nothing becomes true, right? So now let's observe one thing here. So there is one more thing that I'm not discussing here. I just want you to know, once we write this kind of programming, what happens. So then we can talk about why we use the other keyword that I'm not discussing here. Okay, I will start on program. So I will create a file called switch _1, let's say, because if we are discussing multiple programs, so probably this will help. So switch1.c. So now what you know, right, how to include stdio.h and int main. So these are common things that you will remember to write. And in you may think that why am I returning int main always? There are some compilers which mandated that you need to return some value from this function. So there are some compilers who doesn't need it. So depends on your compiler it goes. But right now I'm using it because even the compiler that doesn't want this, right? Even if you give this function, that will get executed without any issue. But this will be like good for both the cases. So that's why I'm trying to use this. So now let's say you are writing a program. So what do you think? Basically, you need to think what you are doing. Let's take the medical shop example itself. If you wanted to so I wanted to take like this. If you see the medicine with A, you will go to box A, right? Box A. I just it's like I'm just going to print that set. If you see the medicine name with B, then you will reach box B. And the same way, like we will write another couple of conditions, C and what, like default is we don't have it. We don't have this medicine. We don't have it, right? Likewise, we can print. So let's take this example. So what you wanted to do is, if a medicine starts with A, you will print box A. If medicine starts with B, you will print box B. If C, then the box C. And if you don't have anything, the default is we don't have this medicine. So right, let's get into it. And before you do that, one more thing that you need to do is you have to take the input from the user. So what is this? It is a character. So now you need to define a variable called character variable. Take char variable, right? Take char variable and then take the input from the user, and then after this you can start the switch case. All right, let's see how the program looks like now. So now the first thing is char c, and now scanf now looks for an input. What is this called? %c, and I wanted to just take it to c variable, or else you can even why did I define c? Anything you can name it. Oh, medicine, right? So now I'll change this to the medicine. You can define names like this, right? You don't need to define A, B, C always. Right, so you see this, right? I mean, there is error. So why? Because it is clearly saying expected a semicolon, but it doesn't say it here. It says here. The reason is, so this one is thinking this is a keyword. So this one is thinking without semicolon, this is being started. So if any error comes at the next line, so you probably look at the previous line, so you will get to know what is the mistake that you are doing. And you already know, if any scanf you are writing, I told you it is better practice to start with printf. So printf ni start cheste manam em raddam. Okay, please enter a character, right? Character of medicine. So what I'm saying is first character. Okay, let me just say first character. Please enter the first character of your medicine. So once you enter the first character, our intention is to get some medicine based on that. Now let's say switch case. Oh, sorry. Now let's say switch. And as I told, now medicine is the expression. So basically, this has the value of what we wanted to evaluate, right? Now case, so let's say there is a in the medicine. So what you wanted to do is this case will become true. And now, so if you observe one more thing, the block started here for entire medicine, but this doesn't have any block. It just started with semicolon. If you observe this, right, this is a colon that we are using now. So far we used only semicolon, so which means that ends there. Now colon means it is just started there. This will understand that, okay, now colon is there. I will have to execute the further statement. So that's why now we are going to write printf here. And so go to box A. I'm just printing that. So let me just copy these three in case if you are practicing, please do practice the same way, like writing a program. Don't copy, because that will help you to remember this program for a long time, how to write the syntaxes. So basically in any programming language, right, syntax is important. So another thing is knowing syntax is very easy nowadays. You can just Google it and you will get this syntax. And the only thing that you need to understand is in which scenario, which condition or which control statement you should use. That's the important thing here. So it's not just the syntax, right? So you have to think, okay, which one is better for your situation, and if you are writing a program. So go to box C. I wrote like this, and I'm only ending here. I'm not going to write till Z, and I'm going to write here default case and then print. What did we talk about? Is the medicine is not available. Not available. We don't, or else we'll just say we don't have this medicine. We do not have the medicine, right? We do not have this medicine. Say we do not have this medicine. This is what I wanted to say. Now, what do you think? If you write this program, so if you write this program and if you execute this, so you are expecting if I enter A, so this technically should come to go to box A, and if I enter C, technically this should print go to box C. But here there's one catch. I'll show you what is that while running. We should use one more keyword that we will discuss after this. I want you to know what is the mistake that generally people do, so that now you won't forget that mistake, because now we are running this program. Okay, let's see. Right, okay, there are some errors. I might have forgot again. Yep. Okay, so what is it saying? We do not have this medicine default. We have an issue over here. Printf did not mean printf. Okay, the spelling mistake. Yes. Okay, printf. I forgot that. All right, so Control Shift B. We are executing this program. This is done. Our terminal, new terminal. I will take it from here. Okay, now C programs, right? We need to go into C programs. Yes. And now there is switch one. Exe file got executed, if you see here, right? Now I'll be executing that program. Okay, please enter the first character of medicine. So I'm entering B. I'm not entering A, I'm not entering C, I'm entering B to show you what is happening here. Hey, see? Okay, now we forgot to give a \n, but that's fine. If you look at here, go to box B got printed. That's good. It did not print go to box A. But if you see, it printed go to box C, and we do not have the medicine. It printed all of them. This is the catch that I want you to know. The thing here, what happened is, so this did not get executed because this case was not true. So once it started from here, it printed this, and it did not end here, and it continued to execute all these things. That is why now we have another keyword called break. So what does it do? After completing this block, right, at the end, not block, after completing this entire case, so you need to tell switch case to break from here. So else it will continue further. So you have to break it using keyword break. So that's when after this case execution, this gets broken. All right. Now let's, where should you use break after all the statements that you have in the case? Then at the end you need to do, before you start any case, you just need to break the previous case and then start the another case. Same goes with everything. And one more thing that you need to remember is, one more thing that you need to know here is, the default is not mandatory. So you don't need to write if you don't want it. So the default is not mandatory. And one more thing is, you can write break here or you don't write, it doesn't matter, because the default is at the end. Even if it comes all the way here, there's nothing to break, you can just leave it, right? All right, so this is how the program looks like. Now the switch will be there, and there will be an expression that, oh, whatever you want to do. In this case, we just used variable directly. There is no expression, but this also is an expression, right? And this is a label. Why did we put in the quotation? The A is a character. Now we are expecting character from this. So if this should be a constant to match, you should not put like small a. So if what's wrong if you're putting small a? So now the thing is, this will be treated as a variable, right? It is not constant anymore. So if you are trying to use constant, you have to tell them that, okay, this is a constant, which is a, and that should be there in the quotation. So you know now why you need to use break, right? So, and you can use any number of cases like this, and the default is not mandatory. So you can either use default or do not use, it doesn't matter. But in your case, if you want to show something at the end, if nothing is true, then you can use it. And let me just execute this program one more time. Okay, before that, I'll just print gap \n here, because that will help to print it in new line, right? So \n. So that's it. We don't need it at the end. You don't need it at the end. The program got compiled without any issues. Now we will run this program. Now I will enter B. It just went to go to box B. So I will run one more time. I'll enter A. Yes, it printed. Now I'll run one more time. I will use C. It printed only go to box C. I'll run one more time. I'll enter E. We do not have this medicine. This is how you can use the switch statement. I hope now you got how to use the switch case and how to use default and everything. So this is very similar to if and else condition, but the only thing is now you have an expression here and you need to use constants. There it is just true or false. There is nothing else. But here there are multiple cases. It's not true or false anymore. You have many labels that you can define and you can use them as per your requirement. So that's why the switch cases are also used in a programming. That is all for this video. I wanted to ask one more thing here. So in my video title it says in Telugu, but I am always explaining in English. This is just a common mistake that I'm doing. I will try to cover most of the concepts in Telugu only. It doesn't mean it's not intentional. It is just habit that I'm just getting into English without even knowing. So ఈ వీడియోలో అయితే స్పెసిఫిక్గా మొత్తం టోటల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఇంగ్లీష్లోనే చేసినట్టున్నా. ఐ మీన్ మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ దట్ డిఫికల్ట్. బట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ జస్టిఫైయింగ్ మై టైటిల్, సో దట్స్ వేర్ ఐఎమ్ ఫీలింగ్ uncomfortable doing this. But yes, I from the next time at least I will try to I'll try to focus on Telugu explanation rather than English. But yeah, you may expect a mix of English and Telugu because these are programming languages, right? So please bear with me. Please take a look at this video in English only. If you have any confusion, I'm happy to do it one more time. Please don't worry to comment. I'll get back to you with Telugu explanation. If you are understanding this, thank you very much. And please do comment the same thing that you are okay with English. And I will definitely try to mix English and Telugu in my explanation. And so that's what I can say. I hope you like this video. If you do so, please do click on the like button. If you want to get more updates from my channel, please do subscribe. And if you want to know anything other than what we are discussing, please do comment. I will get back to you on that. And I will meet you in the next video. Until then, have a good day.